My 28 male, wife 32 female, keeps throwing divorce in my face over everything. I just agreed and left. I'm currently staying with my sister. My wife and I have been together for 5 years, married for 4. We've known each other for years prior. We have 1 kid together who is 4, and I am the primary breadwinner in the house as she is a stay-at-home mom. It was her choice not to go back to work. For the last year and a half, we have been having arguments about 1 to 2 times a month. To be clear, I do help out with our daughter. I clean, cook, and I'm involved with both of them. The first time she said she wanted a divorce was when we got into an argument when my sister called and asked if she could stay with us for a bit as she was having relationship problems, which is ironic now. I said she could, and my wife was not happy about that. I pointed out that her friend stayed with us a couple of months prior for 5 weeks and didn't do anything around the house. Plus, she was just there. No discussion, no nothing. She was a stranger to me and my daughter, while my sister is lovely and has a great relationship with our daughter, and I thought my wife was as well. She ended up staying with us for a week, helping out around the house, cooking, cleaning, and watching our daughter when needed. I thought we both forgave each other and moved on. The fights are usually over something small. 90% are not started by me. I have suggested therapy and counseling, but she always said we never needed it. Well, I had it last night. She picked a fight saying I was spending too much time at work, and that she feels abandoned, and that I'm not a good father, then ended her rant with I want a divorce. I stood up and told her that the only reason I work so much is because she can't stop spending our money on things we don't need or use. She refused to get a job or go to school to help her out. I provide for the family, for my daughter. I'm always at her important dates, functions, doctor's appointments, anything she needs, while she refused to get help through therapy or counseling. I don't want this anymore, so I'll have my lawyer send her the papers when she writes it up. I got my daughter's things and left with her to my sister's. It has been 2 days now and she keeps calling and texting saying she is sorry, that she didn't mean it. She wants to go to counseling and therapy. She needs me, she misses me, etc. I don't know what to do. I love her. She is a good mother, but I can't do this anymore. Internet strangers, please help. Yes, I have a lawyer for my family to work, and I have known her since I was a teen. Now for the top advice. This is still only a snippet of your life. You still know your wife and life better than we do. Make the best decision for your daughter. That's all you can do. Toxic parents are the freaking worst, especially when they can't get over their BS for their kids' sake. You got this, King. Always put your daughter first. I agree with all of this besides putting your daughter first. I'm a mother, so let me explain. Put you first, and here is why. If you're in no type of mental condition to provide the best care for your daughter, because your wife is a stressor so she makes you stressed, then it falls on the daughter, either inadvertently or sometimes otherwise. What good would he be to himself or his daughter if he's unhappy and stressed? We as parents are always told to put our kids first, but our kids count on us to provide what they need. How good are we to them if we are unhappy? Put you first, while taking your daughter into consideration second. Either way, it seems that you both will be there for your daughter, so she will be good. But think about whether you want to spend the rest of your life with someone who doesn't even consider her own mental health, albeit yours, when y'all get into squabbles. Also, the top comment is right. This only is one portion of your life. We don't know the rest of the details. So again, do what's best for you, and the rest will follow either way. This is a very solid point. I don't think OP has done anything wrong, but honestly, his wife's behavior is of someone who is lacking internal stimulation. If she had a job or a proper routine outside of the house, maybe she wouldn't be picking fights over everything and anything. My partner got injured last year for 3 months. The fact that he couldn't go on runs and swimming sessions with his friends made him so unbearable. Same for me when I took the work from home option to the extreme and became a bit annoying too. Thankfully, none of us called for divorce nor offended each other. I gently told my partner that it was clear that he needed his time with his friends, and he gently told me that I needed to go more to the office to change my routine. Staying in a comfort zone can be dangerous if we are never challenged. I had the exact same situation. After the 500th time of her saying we should get a divorce, I finally agreed. Of course, her version of the story later was that I left her, but even that wasn't worth arguing over. My best advice is that even after divorce, you will need to work things out with her on things regarding your daughter. So don't do anything mean or spiteful during the process. Wait a while to see other people after you move out, or she will assume you are cheating on her with any new person. You can't make other people happy. She needs to be responsible for her own happiness. Don't be angry. Just say, I love you and I want you to be happy. But it's clear I can't do that. So you're right, that we're better off getting a divorce. And then don't waver on that decision. If you don't mind, I might end up saying something similar to that. People that say things are fine and refuse counseling while blaming all the problems on the other spouse, then promise wild changes to stop the divorce, aren't to be trusted. They're perfectly content being taken care of and having no responsibility for their own happiness. They make promises to keep you from changing and then go back to what is comfortable and easy for them. Right now, your stay-at-home wife's whole world is upended. She's losing her comfortable home, will need to share custody of the child she had 100% of the time. She's going to have to support herself. I'm not a lawyer, but where I live, alimony payments aren't for life. They're often just half the duration of the marriage. The courts will see she's young and capable of having a career still. Child support payment are until the child is 18 at a percentage of your income and how much custody you have. So she knows she messed up. My advice is that you go through with the divorce, even if you love her, and consider going back after you've seen her change. She gets a job, she gets therapy. Next story. I left my husband the day after our youngest moved out. He says I've deceived him all these years. My female 49 husband, male 51, cheated on me. It was 10 years ago when I got a call from school saying that our youngest, then 9, was sick and needed to go home. When we arrived, I heard them in our bedroom. I panicked, made loud noises to let them know they weren't alone and that our daughter was with me. I'm crying just writing this. I still cry whenever I remember that day. The first year after that was the hardest on me. I felt so insignificant and inadequate, ugly and undesirable. We started therapy and my husband promised to do anything to make it work again. We moved apartments and bought new furniture, and I started a new habit of changing the sheets every night before bed. But all of this wasn't as effective as that one morning when I woke up and realized that I wasn't in love with my husband anymore. After this realization, everything seemed easier moving forward. I saw him as a roommate and a great support raising the children, a good friend. We love our children and we wanted the best for them. And for these next 10 years, we hardly ever fought. And we raised 3 beautiful, happy, and successful young people. When I realized that I didn't love him anymore, I also stopped caring what if he did it again. It was one of my nightmares in the beginning, but I didn't care anymore as long as I slept in clean sheets every night. Around Christmas, our youngest daughter, who is now 19, got her first contract for her own apartment. And that's when I knew that I was free. I also set in motion my plans of moving out and getting my divorce. I found myself an apartment too, and I thought my husband could live in our apartment until we settled everything up. But when I told him and handed him the divorce papers, he was in shock. And when I moved out the day after my daughter, on April 2, he was even more shocked and distraught. Now he is telling me that I have deceived him all these years, acting like I was fine when I wasn't, while he lived in regrets every day for how he hurt me. That I am cold and calculated and vindictive. I don't recognize any of these accusations. I don't see things that way. I saw it as me, and him of course, doing the best with what I was dealt to make a happy and content life for our children. Our whole family really, and I think that I succeeded. What more could anyone ask of me? Edit. I'm thankful that you are reaching out. I'm sorry I can't chat with all of you. I will try to answer women/men who are going/went through similar situations and I want to help. Yes, we're still intimate. It started again 2 to 3 years later. We used protection though because I wouldn't let him touch me without. I said we hardly ever fought, but if we did, it was about intimacy and the rubbers. Also, it went from 2 to 3 times a week to 2 to 3 times a year. In my mind, if he cheated when we were very intimate and active, he was probably cheating now. It bothered me less and less with years. I don't know how long they were sleeping together. I don't know who she was. I never wanted to know. I just saw her once and that was the only thing I didn't want to know in therapy. I don't know if he still slept with her or others. I just assumed he did because it was easier for me to expect the worst. I never said love you to him again, something we used to say often before. He continued saying it. It always told me that he would wait for me to say it back. I didn't need to leave to find happiness sooner. I was happy and lucky having my children and my home. I didn't need more. But now I see no reason or happiness in staying. I never did what I did to get back at him or to get revenge. My children know I have left. They are sad, but my reason was good enough. I was out of love with him. They don't know the details and we are keeping it this way. They don't need to know anything. No, I don't change my beddings every night now. I have no need. Acting like I was fine when I wasn't. Meanwhile, she changes the bedsheet every night and cannot be intimate without protection. Dude has no concept of what fine looks like. I never again told him I love you in 10 years. Not once. I'm not sure how we didn't come to the conclusion that she was checked out. I think I'd noticed something was up after less than a week. Way too many men interpret checked out as everything is fine. Because when most women check out, they stop fighting since they just don't care anymore. Men think no fighting means the problem is solved. This is what happened to me. My ex punched me in the face, and I checked out for 2 years until I had saved enough money to leave. He thought we were doing good because we didn't fight anymore. You didn't deceive him. You have been fine all these years. You just never told him why, and he clearly never asked. This is the most telling thing. He never noticed how disengaged she became. You generally don't behave the same with a roommate as you do a partner, and intimacy can be just that. It doesn't have to have the deep meaning it can have between two lovers. I say they went to therapy, but I'm not sure it was a good therapist, or if the ex-husband really put in the work. And he apparently thought her changing the sheets every night after he cheated was a normal behavior, and didn't at all indicate that she still didn't trust him. Your husband has some audacity blaming you for deceiving him. He was cheating on you in your own home. He was living in guilt because of his own actions. If this was me, I wouldn't care about what he says about this. I wouldn't really even bother giving an explanation. Last story. I feel betrayed by my soon-to-be ex-husband and his new girlfriend. Yesterday at my 35-week prenatal appointment, my soon-to-be ex-husband let me know that he's dating a new chick. To be honest, I felt nothing of the knowledge that he is dating someone new, because this is the reason we are separated, and it has taken me a while to break the feelings I have for this man. Now, what pisses me off is this fool telling me that girlfriend is wanting to be part of my baby's life, and that she wants to meet me blah blah blah. Which I politely put up boundaries and shut down her being involved in our kid's life until they have a more serious relationship. He tells me she lives in a different state and other inconsequential bull that I really didn't want to know, but whatever. Also, he swore me to secrecy about this, and that he doesn't want his family to find out about this girl, because my ex-mother-in-law still blames his infidelity on his anti-depression medication, and that my baby would need its parents together, and that we need to work in our marriage. Even though I recently found out that my ex-brother-in-law, mother-in-law's oldest son, cheated on his wife, and that my mother-in-law is all for them getting divorced, and that she wants sister-in-law to get everything. Well, here's the betrayal. This girl not only lives in our town, but works at my job and has been for months. She knows me and had met me on a few occasions, and I feel super violated. This man lied to me about this girl and thinks it's okay. When I got upset about finding out the truth, he made me feel like I'm crazy, and that his girlfriend didn't want the drama. WTF. I feel like my place of work had been invaded, and that them keeping this secret for so long is so deceitful. I'm about to have this man's baby. We are separated. We have only been separated for 6 freaking months. How is any of this real right now? I feel like I'm about to walk on stage of Jerry Springer and deal with crazy girlfriend drama. I know people deal with worse, but damn, why me? Why can he move on while I'm here, a human incubator who he beat down emotionally for 5 years, and he can move on to someone else and then not warn me that that person invaded my place of work and neither had a boss to say a word? I don't care if he has a girlfriend. I was supportive when he told me, but for some reason, the lying and her being part of my workplace caused me so much distress. Now for the comments. Honestly, it sounds like your ex-mother-in-law knows how bad her son is and doesn't want to have to take him back on because you guys are splitting. That's what happened with my parents. My grandmother knew how her son was and got mad that my mom kicked him out. She was so resentful that she stopped checking in on me and my brother. My ex is a difficult man to deal with, but his family has a lot of control and influence on him, and it caused a lot of issues in our relationship. They would make input in our life, and he would put the family opinion in higher regard than mine. The cheating was really the last straw. My ex had a lot of other issues that I just ignored. Sounds like it is a very good thing you got out. Yeah, I can agree. But unfortunately, I will have to share a child with these people. I also am still grieving a 6-year relationship. But at the end of the day, the bad outweighs the good. No idea why mother-in-law is going in this direction when she went the other way for her other daughter-in-law. If your soon-to-be ex is particularly challenging to live with, it may have something to do with not wanting him to come home to her. You just take care of you and your soon-to-be arriving baby. Don't worry about them. I hope you have friends and family who are supportive around you. Jesus, it really says something about the character of their mother if both sons cheated on their long-term partners. I am assuming the sister-in-law doesn't have kids, and by traditional standards, it is easier to support her leaving her other son than it is to support you since she likely holds the ideals that a kid should have two parents, as if marriage changes that. Put mother-in-law in timeout and explain she can either support you or get lost. Sister-in-law has 4 children with brother-in-law. I agree that she deserves all his worth because he's a POS. But my issue is that I was being basically pushed to reconcile, and she was basically given permission. Unfortunately, they only care about image, and to this day, it's not public knowledge about either of her sons' divorces based on the info I have been given. Update. Family suddenly against me, 27 male, not wanting anything to do with my ex and baby after finding out I'm not the father. Original story. All of it came out a while back. My now ex-girlfriend had a baby girl 3 months ago, and recently I learned I'm not a biological father. I kicked my ex out of my place and told her I'd never want to see her again. We had a few issues recently, and today I'm told by my parents and sisters that they don't agree with me not wanting anything to do with the baby because she's still my daughter. They were fully supportive of me since this all came out. And suddenly, because my ex is online over another issue we had, and how I'm abandoning a baby girl I still bonded with, they feel that they agree with her. Honestly, I feel so betrayed by this. Like I said, literally a few weeks ago they were fully supportive of me. Now they want to make me play daddy to a baby that isn't mine, with all the pain I'm still experiencing. What do I even do about that? Because now it seems like they have a pretty strong opinion about it. Now for the top advice before reading the update. If you're not the biological father, you quite literally have zero responsibility. Why would anyone expect you to take care of her or her child when you found out she cheated on you anyways? They should be ranting to the real father instead of you. Because the ex is stirring crap up online. It also probably makes him look pretty bad to kick her and a baby out on the streets. I'm sure people are reacting emotionally. Could be his family had bonded with a baby and already thought of them as theirs? I don't know. It's not a simple situation when there are tiny humans involved, as much as everyone likes to pretend the world is black and white. However, I agree you don't let a cheater who tried to baby trap you with another man's child live with you, and you certainly don't raise the baby. I would frankly tell the family that if they feel so strongly about it, they can invest their time and money raising that baby and letting the mom move in with them. But the only way their argument holds water is if they are willing to step up and do what they insist Opie does. Otherwise, they're just crap-talking dummies who won't put their money where their mouth is. You're an adult. Do what's right for you. Your parents and sisters have no say in this. They're most likely projecting their disappointment of having a baby in the family onto you. Stay the course and don't let them make you second-guess your choice. Seek legal advice in your area to ensure you are not on the hook for your ex's well-being and a child. Extremely important. Otherwise, I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm glad you found out when you did. And now for the update. Man, did things really take a turn from last time I posted this. I tried talking with my family multiple times, at least to get them to understand how badly my ex cheating has messed me up, and the way it makes me feel with them trying to back me into a corner about the baby. I've told them she's not mine and I can't be involved in her life or my ex's. That's just too much for me. For a few days after, I thought they finally understood it. Then what do? My mom asks if they can come over to my place for some lunch, and they bring the baby too. Thank God it wasn't my ex too, or I probably would have lost my cool. This was the first time I ever raised my voice at my mom. It is to tell her to get the hell out. Her, my dad, and my siblings are trying to plead with me to just hold her and sit down to talk with them. Seriously, I couldn't freaking believe them. I didn't get physical, but in a way did have to push them out of my house. Got non-stop calls from them outside, and the baby was crying because they kept calling me from outside to let them in. It was a crazy time. My heart was even pounding. After that crap show, I called my mom up again to tell her I'm done with us. They're not to speak to me again, and if at some point I decide to let them back in, They are never allowed to ever bring up my ex or the baby. I told my mom I honestly can't believe she'd do that to me, her son after everything I've already been through. That betrayal hurts deep. She seems super apologetic, but that's not enough for me with the line they crossed. I'm sad that it had to come to me blocking them off for a long time. Most likely the rest of my life, since they seem so interested in having the baby in theirs. And I don't need that around me. Been spending more time with friends, going out, getting drunk, and having fun. It's a nice distraction, honestly. Here's hoping you finally have some peace. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. Your family's all kinds of horrible, and you really stepped up and protected yourself there. This, my man. You set clear and firm boundaries that your family unfortunately don't care about. And the minute you give a damn about that child, your ex is going to use that as a leverage to get you to support her awful ways. For what it's worth, blocking family's hard, but family's supposed to have your back and tell you the honest truth when needed. But that isn't family you got right now. They're so blinded by grandchild that they don't care about the harm they're doing to their own son over having the baby around. If you've got friends with career opportunities outside of town, or things you've always wanted to do that family held you back on, now's your time. Find your new way forward. Good luck on your journey. I'm considering leaving once I know my name is off the birth certificate. Last chances of my ex are them trying to force the baby on me again. Also, I'm tired and feel I need something else in my life right now. Sounds like you need a lawyer if your name is on the birth certificate. No, the biological dad is getting his name added to the birth certificate. As far as I know, is fine with owing child support but won't be involved. It's really sad. To think they would be so invested in the idea of a grandchild that they're basically asking you to distort reality and completely disregard your own feelings to humor it. What indulgent, delusional, and baffling people. It sucks having to cut off family. But I want to make it clear. It had to be done, and you stood up for your own principles. A own pursuit of happiness here in a way I think you should take pride in. Be careful with drinking though, friend. I've lost years of my life to it, let alone my lifespan, and it never helps. If you find yourself drinking more and more, especially alone, then really reflect on that. Thanks for this. I see what you mean about the drinking. I've been kind of reckless with it, because right now it feels like I want to be in self-destructive mode to feel numb for a bit. But I'll try to monitor it and make sure it doesn't get too crazy. Next story is titled, Update. I, 31 male, am reconsidering my marriage after my father-in-law's death. Original story. We have been together for 10 years, married for 5. My father-in-law passed away at the start of the year, and it has been difficult. I have been there for her. I have taken over a ton of chores. I have been a shoulder to cry on, and I have made sure she has a space to talk about him and cherish his memory. Then it has struck me that she did none of this when my father passed away. He died 3 years ago. My wife was with me during the funeral, but she didn't let me break down or take time for myself. She always said that my dad wouldn't want me to cry about him, and I should carry on working. Pulling 70-hour weeks because that is what he would have wanted, for me to be a good family man like he was. I believed her and just pushed back all the emotions. I was only able to mourn and talk about him properly with my best friend. I thought it was fine then, and I didn't want to bother her. Right now, I feel like my father's death was something he had to deal with, while her father's death is something that happened to all of us. I know it is silly to compare and contrast, but this pattern holds for most of our marriage. Her emotions and problems are our problems, while my emotions have to be processed outside our family. I honestly don't know how to bring this up. I don't think I am ready to leave her when she is still struggling, but bringing this up will just make things worse. I am terribly confused. Edited to add, it is a pattern. She is very considerate and generous in small things, but she can be selfish about big things. For instance, the reason we moved to our current city was because she loved it and she got an offer here. It was a pretty bad move for me in terms of career opportunities, but she made it clear that it was either the move or divorce. It sucked, but I made a move. Someone suggested therapy and I have been to therapy, but the money comes out of my fun money instead of our expenses. I'm not sure if she had to go, it will come out of her fun money. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Therapy money comes out of your fun money? That's a red flag right there. Therapy is medical care. It's treatment. It's preventative care. Does she pay for doctor's visits, over-the-counter pain medication, pads and tampons, etc. out of her fun money? Because this sounds like it's bordering on financial mistreatment. Therapy isn't fun. It's mental health care. Your wife sounds like an a-hole. She made you work 2 jobs worth of time each week when you were grieving. She made you bottle up your emotions. And now she expects you to step up for her when she refused to do the same for you? This isn't a healthy relationship at all. I see a lot of you giving and her taking, but not much in the other direction. Couples counseling or divorce. This sounds like an awful relationship to be a part of. Yeah, the idea of therapy money coming out of fun money is absolutely absurd. Sounds like Opie's looked on as an accessory to her life rather than a partner. I'd say couples therapy pretty sharpish. I'm sorry, Opie. Her telling you to be a family man was to deny you any grieving. And she should not be such a sexist hypocrite with support after a death. Totally yes. When my grandmother died, my dad broke down. Not only because his mother was dead now, but because the side of the family lives in another country 5,000 kilometers away. So the last time I saw her was probably 2 years before that. No one in my family cared about him being a family man then. He just was a son who grieved the loss of his mother. And my mom, brother, and I did everything we could so that he could book a flight the next few days to be able to be at her funeral and be there with his siblings. Sometimes it's okay to not be strong or 100% there for your immediate family. The loss of a beloved parent/sibling/other family member is one of them. But men are definitely allowed to grieve properly like everyone else in these situations. I'm sorry you didn't get the support you need when your father died. Is it a pattern with your wife to not be emotionally supportive of you, or was it just around your father's death? I can't really tell from your post. If you are just realizing that this is a pattern in your relationship, it's a valid and important complaint. If it was just around your father's death, I think you should talk to her about it. She may not have realized what she was doing. She may not have realized how hard it is for you. Sometimes when someone hasn't experienced a close death like that themselves, they just don't get it. But if she really thinks don't dwell and get back to work is defensible, you have some thinking to do. And now for the update. I ghosted my own wife. I want to thank all the commenters for pointing out how messed up my marriage was. I had been planning a trip to see my nephew for a while, and I finally decided to go. I flew back home, but I have been staying with my sister. I took all the important documents with me because I wanted them with me just in case. I knew that even if I try to talk with her, I will fold and stay. I needed space and I needed time. I'm surrounded by unconditional love here. Even if I hurt my sister or brother, they will be hurt and angry, but they will still love me. While my wife can turn her affection on and off like a switch. I have talked to her about divorce, and she is trying to win me back. She has even talked to me about moving back. I had to quit my job. It will hurt my career, but my boss was strangely understanding. I have also contacted a divorce attorney. I know it is going to be messy and long, but I want to do it. I really don't see a future for myself right now. And what is my most important motivation for getting a divorce that I have already made her angry? Even if I go back now, she will still be angry. I am terrified of what she will do to me to work through that anger, and we would go back to being loving after she vented. But I don't have the emotional strength to go through that, and I am deeper in every day I don't return. Divorce becomes a better option, even though I still miss her. I really do love her, but I can't live like this. I'm terrified of what she will do to me to work through that anger. Write the statement down on a piece of paper and stick it in your wallet. Anytime you have second thoughts about the divorce process, just take it out and read it. Nobody should be terrified in their own marriage. For any reason. You deserve better than this. Exactly. She sounds like a manipulative bully. And the fact he is scared of her not buying her nice act reminds me of when the bully is forced to apologize by adults. You know the apology is performative art, and when they get a chance to get you alone again? Honestly, solid advice. When I broke up with my last ex, I had to write a few of the things he did down, and read them over a few times whenever I missed him or felt weak. It's odd how terrible instances can just be drowned by a few kind gestures of love. It was rereading the really bad stuff and triggering those memories that kept me away and never went back. Go ahead and file for divorce. The sooner you do that, the sooner it will be done and she'll be out of your life. Ask the attorney how to arrange things so that all contact is done through them, so that she can't contact you directly anymore. Right now, she knows she can use her fake nice side, and it is fake, to appeal to your feelings for her so that she can use them as a weapon against you. Disallowing her direct contact with you takes that weapon away from her. Once that is started, get into therapy ASAP. Doing so will help you break the addiction to her toxicity. We can become addicted to toxic people just like we can become addicted to substances. And that will help you stay strong and allow you to truly begin to heal from the damage your wife and marriage have caused you. I am talking to my attorney and we are going to file soon. I honestly her having to deal with a lawyer would be a good idea. Her fake nice side feels so real that I don't know if it is fake, but I know there is still a lot of anger lurking there. I'm planning to go to therapy. Thank you for commenting. Divorce becomes a better option even though I still miss her. I really do love her, but I can't live like this. Sometimes love just isn't enough. Start divorce proceedings so you can move on with the rest of your life. Going to file soon. I really want to get it over with. Now for the last story. Did I, 30 male, make a mistake in telling my girlfriend's 29 female affair partner? We had dated for 4 years now and I thought things were great and sweet. She seemed emotionally supportive and we helped each other in our problems when needed. A few months ago though, when I was fixing her phone, I noticed flirty texts between him and her. I told her to stop with the flirting, but despite her promises, I found out from her phone, when I had to fix it again, that they were hooking up. I went to my friend's house and texted both of them that I knew, and that my relationship was over. The affair partner then called me and said he had no idea she was still with me. She had told him that I was the abusive ex. He told me he wouldn't speak to her anymore and invited me to chat with him someday. The next day, my now ex-girlfriend came in and screamed me out of ruining a great thing. It got to the point when she tried to stab me, and I had to literally fight for my life by punching her out. Cops were called and she was arrested. I know I should feel relieved, but now I'm wondering if I could have just told her instead of both of them that I knew the affair and avoided the drama? You did the right thing. If you'd have talked to her, she'd have denied it, probably, and told her affair partner more lies. I screenshot the text to end up confirming it. You still did the right thing. Now he has the chance to review his decision to stay with her. You didn't ruin a good thing. She did by cheating on you. I don't think you made a mistake, and I'm glad you were away from her and unscathed. You called her out for the flirty texts, and she kept going to the point of sleeping with a guy. When you contacted the other guy, he felt like an a-hole because she lied about you and the person you are, so he dropped her out of respect, and also by recognizing that if she is doing this to you, she would have no problem doing it to him. And after all that, she still came after you, her boyfriend and significant other, about ruining a good thing that she had with that guy, despite being with you? And then she tries to stab you. I'd say you were lucky to be out of that relationship, and she tried to harm you over the fact that she cheated on you. It was more of how I handled it I'm worried about. I was definitely going to leave no matter what.